let's strengthen our pelvic floor. All you need is someplace comfortable to lie down, an exercise mat, carpet with a towel, anything like that will work. And optional is to have a block. You could also use a pillow. This is 5 exercises. We're gonna go through 2 times, so a circuit of 10 minutes. In the very beginning, we're just gonna do some breathing warm up so that we get ourselves prepared, and that is it. Join me on the mat. Okay, so here we are. We're just gonna lie right down on the mat, and if you have something like this, you're just gonna want it off to the side, somewhere where you can grab it comfortably. So we're gonna start just lying down, shoulders relaxed, heels close to your bum, knees in line with your hips, in line with your toes, so we're not like this really, you're collapsing in, everything's pretty sturdy and strong, okay? And you're ready to just do a couple breathing exercises to get started. All right, so here we're gonna practice our 360-degree breathing. So exhale normally, and then you're gonna inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. And I want you to feel your ribs expand and your back ribs to press into the mat underneath you. So we're gonna start now. Breathe in 4 seconds. And then you're gonna exhale for 4 seconds or longer out through your mouth. Okay, you can have your hands here at your lower ribs, and you're gonna do it again. Inhale through your nose. And then exhale through your mouth for at least 4 seconds. Okay, again, inhale through your nose. You want your hands to expand, your thumbs to go down towards the mat, okay? Inhale. And then exhale through your mouth. Good. Okay, so we're gonna warm up with some pelvic tilts, shoulders down away from your ears. Right now, your back should be pretty relaxed. What you're gonna do is exhale, and as you exhale, you tilt your pelvis down towards the mat, strengthening. You should feel some strengthening in your abdominals. You might feel your pelvic floor a little bit. And then you're going to create a gap and lift your low back away from the mat. So there's like a little tunnel here in your low back. Inhaling here and then exhaling, and the opposite again, where you're tilting your pelvis down and you are pressing your low back down into the mat, and you should feel your abdominals engage here. Keep length in the back of your neck, and you are engaging, exhaling. And then the opposite, where you tilt up. Inhaling, and there should be a little tunnel here, right? Your fingers can touch. And then you do one more time. Exhale and tilt down. Strengthening in here. And then the opposite, where you lift up and you're creating a little tunnel here where your fingers could actually touch in between. And that's it while you're inhaling, and then you're gonna find a neutral spot to just hang out in here. Okay, perfect. So now we begin our exercises, 5 exercises, 2 times through. We're gonna start with a very easy, very simple marching. Your knees are in line with your hips, your heels are in line with your knees, okay? And what we're doing here is lifting one knee and lowering, and you're keeping this all engaged. There's no movement, there's no moving around, and you're lifting, hinging from the hip, all right? So let's get started. 3, 2, 1, and lift. And then the other leg. Just engaging your abdominals and always breathing. Exhale up. Perfect. Great. From here, we're going to flip around on our hands and knees. Wrists right under our shoulders. We're going to do a modified quadruped here. So you're reaching and you want to keep everything in line. There's no weeble wobbling. So the idea here is stability, right? You want to have some good stability. Looking down at the mat, right? You don't want to be crooking up, just everything still. Perfect. Gonna flip around. We're gonna do a more advanced version of that first exercise we did. Okay, so this time, knees are up and one leg comes down and up. So stability here. No tension in your neck. And do you see how my knee is staying bent at about a 90-degree angle, right? There's no reaching right now. That would make it harder. So if you want to make it harder, that's a way to make it harder. Extending out makes it harder. If you're dealing with a prolapse and you're babying it, I would suggest sticking to heel close to your bum, maintaining a 90-degree angle with your knee through the range of motion for now. Perfect. Good. Feet down. Flip over. We're going to do a cat-cow. This is great for your pelvic floor. Hands under your shoulders. And it's exhale and press. Inhale and up. Exhale and press into the floor with your hands. And then here. Good. All right, we're gonna flip over and do our bridges. So this is where, if you choose to, you can use a block, and it goes the narrow way in between your knees, heels close to your fingertips here, pressing in through your feet, you lift, squeeze the block, release, and down. So it's lift, squeeze, release, and down. Up, squeeze, release, and down. Up, squeeze, release, and down. Exhale, squeeze, release, and down. Exhale up, squeeze, release. So the squeezing helps to activate your inner thigh muscles, which is really good for your pelvic floor. Perfect. Okay, come all the way down. And now we're back to the first exercise we did, which was this. This might feel like a really nice movement after the bridging. Just re-engage here again. No tension in your neck. And even though this might feel like an easy movement, it's still a really great way to engage in your abdominal muscles again. Perfect. Good. I'm gonna flip over. And we're gonna do our quadruped variation here where we're just extending. And you are focusing on keeping your low back flat as a table. Okay, back, down on your back again. And now remember, we do that harder variation where we are both legs up, strong abdominals, drop one, drop the other. So the movement's really just coming from your hip, down and up. Your knees are staying pretty like 90 degree-ish. And the further your heel touches the ground from your butt, the harder these are. Perfect. Okay, knees in for a second, and now we have our cat and our cow here. Hands under your shoulders, flat as can be, and then look up and drop your back, and then here. Perfect, good, and now our last exercise. All right, grab that block again. Long way in between your knees, fingers by your toes. Exhale, lift, add a little squeeze to the box at the top, and come back down. Exhale, lift, squeeze, out, and down. Up, squeeze, out, and down. You exhale as you come up. This is so good for prolapse. Bridging can be great for prolapse. Pelvic floor, squeezing the box helps activate your pelvic floor. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. A little ball can work here, like a playground ball. Okay, one more. Lift, squeeze, release, and lower. Okay, and that was it, guys. That was 10 minutes of core exercises. Good work. All right, so one thing you can do now that you've finished your workout is you can pull your knees in and you can loop around if you can, loop and just roll back and forth. Good, and then you can take your hands, grab the outsides of your feet here and just same thing. Back and forth, stretching your inner thighs, your hamstrings. Different people can feel stretches in different places, just depending on where they're tight. Some people might say, oh, I really feel this in my glutes or hamstrings. And other people may say, oh my gosh, I feel this so much in my inner thighs. So it always just depends on the person and where they might be tight. You can bring your feet together too and just do a butterfly stretch if you want to, if you like that, how that feels. I like to do a figure 4 stretch, which means you take the right foot, you put it on the left knee, and then you loop around under your thigh and you get a stretch in your right hip here. And you can even roll yourself a little bit to the left and then you really feel it through your hip rotators. Good, back to the center, and then your left foot goes on your ankle, goes on your right knee, and you loop your hands through your thigh and you just pull in a little bit, and you can roll your body a little bit to the right and you'll feel a stretch over in your left hip. Good, again, hug in your knees and just rock back and forth and relax. And you did it, guys. That was 10 minutes with a little stretching in the beginning, so that was good work. All right, so that was it. That was a 10-minute core workout. You did it, high five, good job. This is something I would suggest you do every day. You could do it before a workout, you could do it after a workout, so you could bookmark it and you could come back to it again and maybe set a challenge to yourself that every day for 2 weeks, you're gonna really work on your core, your pelvic floor, and this would be a really go-to workout to do that. So that's it. My name is June Melia. I've been a certified personal trainer for 25 years, and I love creating workouts like these, particularly for people with prolapse, because I've been dealing with prolapse for about 2 years. It's on the mend. I'm doing great, and I wanna show women that they can also include exercising and getting their pelvic floor and their core strong and flexible and pliable so that you can keep doing all the things you love. If you enjoyed this workout, I would love it if you would like this video, and if you want more like this, you're welcome to subscribe, and then it's more likely to pop up in your feed next time you are perusing for a good workout. I hope you'll come back. All right, that is it for now. Again, I'm June Melia, and I hope to see you in my next video.